Hey guys, theBolderBoulder here. Today, I'm going to be doing my 5th and final mini robot series. So, this class is what I call the Defects. As you can see, many of them look pretty weird and messed up. This is the leader, because really, these guys are what I had been referring to as the enemy, the Defects, which were actually originally prototypes of existing robots, or they were experiments that went wrong and the robots had escaped from the laboratories in which they were being worked on, and so they formed a gang, and now they run around and cause trouble whenever they can. And their leader is named Tank. He's pretty much the only normal looking one out of all of them. This guy is actually a prototype for one of the police robots, but is actually now against them, and was originally made for them, but now he's against them, and so that's going to be a problem for the police. So, this little guy is a lot tougher than he looks. He has buttons on this side, and this right here is his one eye. The rest of him is glowing. So this guy is a pretty tough little guy. So I'll move him back, and his name is Tank. So here's another little robot. This guy is just some little defect that an engineer didn't want. He was going to be a robot that was going to be able to fight using any type of weapon he could put on his head, but it obviously failed, and he escaped from the laboratory in which he was created, and now has joined the gang of the Defects. And here's another robot that was a prototype for that grenade launching robot. This one actually throws mines. They explode and do all kinds, cause all kinds of damage. Just a second. Alright. And over here, we have this other little robot. He was going to be a robot that was supposed to collect surveillance or be a spy robot, but it ended up escaping and ended up getting broken because there's no one there to take care of it. And it eventually joined the gang. This is another robot that was a prototype for a city worker class robot, but unfortunately it had a glitch and now is now part of the gang. This was a robot that was supposed to help generate power for anything where it was needed, but it had a glitch and something inside of it is now messed up and it was slightly damaged, so it decided to join the Defect Gang. This is another pointless robot, really. It's pretty dumb. It doesn't really have very good artificial intelligence. It's just is terrible at everything. It was originally created to be a citizen, but due to its lack of artificial intelligence and had a glitch, it's now part of the Defect Gang. And this was actually going to be a robot that was going to be a city official, but it was still in its experimental stage and ended up messing up and joined the gang. That's why it has an antenna, because usually it's only city workers that have antennas on them. And this back here used to be a citizen, but ended up having a glitch and got a little bit damaged, and it felt left out. And so it just joined the Defect Gang. Now it has a little bit of a sense of belonging, sort of like what people would do for being in a gang. Then back here was another worker robot that also had the same thing. It ended up having some sort of problem, a glitch or two, and the engineer just ended up releasing it because it didn't want anything to do with the robot anymore, so he ended up joining the Defect Gang. And this is another really dumb robot. And when I say dumb, I mean lack of artificial intelligence. It doesn't really know anything, it just follows instructions it's given to by Tank. It just runs around. If there's a wall in the way, it breaks through the wall. Or it'll continually hit the wall until it ends up damaging itself. This is another robot, a defect that was incomplete, but somehow it was activated, and since it was incomplete, it didn't have everything it needed to operate correctly, so it ended up escaping, or maybe it even ended up just wanting to leave, so it ended up joining the Defect Gang. This right here was also a prototype, but was for a city class, but it ended up not working out, and the engineer just released it, which is against the rules for the city. You're not allowed to release robots with defects, but there are still some engineers who just allow their defective robots to run around the city, which is how some of these members had joined the gang, because they're defects, and somehow when one's a defect, they become attracted to other defect robots. So that is the gang of the Defects. And I forgot to do this at first, so here is size comparison between all of the robots with Indiana Jones. So, thank you guys for watching this video and watching the whole series, and I will see you guys again with a new mock. Bye for now.